Wow, there's definitely some learning curve to live streaming on YouTube, but I'm glad you guys are here in the beginning stages. I've been live streaming for a long time, but not on YouTube. So there's a lot. I'm trying to use the streaming software, OBS, and then there's a lot of learning. So I'll talk about a little about what I've learned. Um, Basically today, I was trying to. So I scheduled the live stream from my phone, and I thought I could just jump onto my laptop and start the live stream, but it turns out that you have to live stream from the device where you scheduled or created the live stream. So I had to end that and then create this one. So I hope people find their way to this place, but if not, you can always catch the replay. So basically today I'm talking about how technology affects our how technology affects our business, how technology affects wealth creation, investing, and the markets in general. You have to understand how innovation, how advancements, how new breakthroughs, disruptions, how do they affect the market? Because that's the way the wisdom for wealth creation comes in. There was a mentor of mine many years ago, and he said something about so there was a chart he drew for me, and it's called like the adoption curve, something like that. And let me see if I can find adoption curve and see if I can use that to explain this adoption no adoption curve. Yeah, so that's basically it looks something like this. All right, it looks something like this, and it says, now let me open this. Let's open this. Okay, yeah, so that's it. And so that's the adoption curve. And the adoption curve is basically talking about how long it takes for people to catch on to something new. Because we as humans, we are very comfortable, we are very familiar, we hold on to comfort a lot. We don't like things to change rapidly. So we have the innovators, they're 2.5% and of the population basically. So when something new comes out, for example, even up till now, artificial intelligence is still is well, it as mainstream and it has gone, you will be shocked to find what the adoption rate uh, of AI is. Globally, you'll be shocked to find out how many people actually have adopted and are using it in their everyday life. So innovators are 2.5%. These are the guys that when they see a new idea, they jump onto it, they implement it, they integrate it immediately, and they adapt to that new innovation. And these are the guys that take advantage. For example, the guys that bought Bitcoin when it was 10 cents, guys that bought Bitcoin, I mean, anywhere under $1,000 or even $500, you're an innovator. So there's a kind of mindset that you need to have to actually even see that as an opportunity. For one, I saw Bitcoin when it was under $500 or around $500 in 2016, 2015, 2016. That was when I first, you know, um, stumbled on Bitcoin when I was doing my online business. But I still did not recognize the opportunity. I knew, yeah, it's a coin, it may go up, but I couldn't project in my mind $500 to $100,000 right now. Maybe then I would have borrowed money to even buy, or I don't know. Don't At least I would have started building up a huge position there in Bitcoin. And in fact, there was a point I did some business and I got paid a lot of money in Bitcoin, and then I converted them. So the early adopters are the ones that are able to spot that opportunity, the innovators. And then we have the early adopters, which are 13.5. We have the early majority. So you see, this is how the network effects begin to open up. And then we have the late majority, the people that are still asking today, what is Bitcoin? that's, that's the late majority. And then we have the laggards. The laggards are like, those guys will probably never catch on to something, or whenever they catch, maybe in their, when the thing is dying down, when the opportunity has gone, those guys will now start, asking, oh, I saw this thing online, Bitcoin, can we use it? So that is the adoption curve. Now, I was saying that to show you how AI and technology can change things and you can take advantage of it. You need to find yourself somewhere, at least in the early majority, right? Or at least early adopters, if you want to take huge, massive advantage of opportunities, okay? And that's why I'm doing this. As an investor, you need to be able to think that, okay, how can I, leverage? How can I position myself in front of something new, so that I can ride the wave? And that's the opportunity here, is that you can actually jump on something while it's somewhere here and ride the wave, the surf. You can surf the wave that's going to come in from the entry and the adoption of these guys, the early adopters and the early majority. See, that's a wave, and you can even keep riding it until the late majority come in, and at some point the increase becomes, let's say reaches marginal utility in economics, and there's no point holding on to that position, as an investor. So that's the kind of mindset that you need to approach, especially when you're talking about how to use technology. So today we're going to look at some of the points that I have noted here. Let me see if I can make this a bit bigger. Okay, I can't, so let's go on. So DeepSeek essentially launched. So it's just like, what is DeepSeek? It's like another version of OpenAI or ChatGPT, another version of Claude, another version of Grok, and these are ChatGPT is the baby of OpenAI. Grok is from Twitter. We have Claude, we have Opus, we have Sonnet, Heiki. Those are babies of the Anthropic company. So there are different companies heralding this AI. Microsoft also has its own, and Google also has its own. That, and there are some others as well. So DeepSeek is a new entry on the block, and it's basically entered with a big bang. All right. So it's actually a Chinese AI startup, and it has gained significant attention for its innovative approach. So these guys didn't just come and say another guy is on the block. They said we are different, and they actually did something crazy. They were able to deliver what other people would say deliver for, like maybe $10-15 $10-15 million, and then they were able to deliver it for like $2 million. So like maybe 10% of the cost of what it would take to develop and train a large language model. DeepSeek was able to do it for far, ridiculously low. So the question is, why are these guys spending all this money? Is there something else that we don't know, or are they just not as smart as we thought they were? What's all the hype about ChatGPT and all that? So to me, there's definitely the advantage of the first mover advantage, and if you see the first version of the personal computer compared to what we have now, you can't even compare the two. They are like worlds apart. Not even talking about mainframes, and I'm just saying the first personal computer compared to the versions we have now. Right? So there's always going to be, and there will still be better options coming on the scene over time. All right. So, and these guys, they introduced the DeepSeek, which is the name of that language model, but they did it in an innovative way, and immediately they also created an AI assistance app. So something you can download on your phone and have access to DeepSeek immediately, and that has quickly become the most downloaded free app on Apple's iPhone store. So that is a significant achievement. And what exactly are these guys doing differently? So the first thing is that they developed their model with about $5.6 million, compared to OpenAI that is using billions of dollars. They spent okay, are we still streaming? Just to be sure. Okay, so I believe we're still on. Just to be sure. Okay, we're still on. So I mean, just imagine they put a budget of 100 billion to do a bridge, and another person comes and says, hey, I can deliver this same, in fact, not just the same bridge, but better, for 1 billion instead of 100 billion. That's exactly what's happening here. So the market is reacting crazily to that. All right. So one is efficient use of capital, and obviously they are using less data, less resources, and they are maintaining high, and not even just high, but actually higher performance, because this model actually is performing better than the current models in some metrics. All right, so OpenAI and Google have invested heavily in large-scale infrastructure and vast data sets to train their models. Definitely they spend more money, and I assume that DeepSeek as well will have to invest a lot in terms of scaling if they really want to become, achieve that global scale. If you realize, sometimes when you use ChatGPT, sometimes it just doesn't answer you. Sometimes it crashes. Sometimes it tells you there's so many users. Wait, that especially if you're on the free version, wait for this number of hours and come back by 5 p.m. So they're doing that to manage the load on the system. So now let's talk about what actually woke a lot of people to DeepSeek. A lot of people did not even know about DeepSeek, but they checked their portfolio and they were like, wow, what happened? So I want us to go and look at let's go and look at Yahoo Finance. All right, and let's look at Nvidia. Let's see what happened to him. So a lot of people have been on the Nvidia hype for some years, because that stock has been flying. Like, Nvidia became the most valuable company in the world. I think it was at $3 trillion or something like that. I mean, that was something else. So let's see Nvidia. But all of a sudden, and there have been a lot of skeptics as well, especially value investors, saying, is this rise a bubble? Definitely there's a bubble element to it, but how long can this actually continue to go on? So I want us to see, maybe let's look at the 1 month. So I want us to see what happened in Nvidia's. Maybe let's check Nvidia on Google. Okay, 5 days. All right, so that was a drop there. I mean, well, let's say it was that. So that was like what? This was Friday, probably when the news was coming, and then we had this boom. This was Friday at 10 a.m. and on Monday was when the market reacted. Okay, the markets were closed over the weekend. So yeah, what happened was some news came out I think this news came out over the weekend, and then on Monday everybody was like, nah, I have to sell my position. So from 142 to 120, that's like what, how many percent? 20 divided by how many percent is that? 20 divided by 142. So 14%, well, for some portfolios, that's a lot. 14% increase, or over, like, we're like down to like 11% decrease in the past 5 days. And you can see it's recovering, right? It's recovering. The hype is still there, but that was the shock. Obviously, not just Nvidia, but a lot of other AI stocks. Let's look at Google and see if there was a serious impact on Google. Okay, so I think this is probably that same impact. Let's look at Microsoft. Wow, Microsoft rebounded quickly. This was Friday to Monday. You can see the change there. 40. So yeah, not that much, but then Microsoft quickly covered up. Nvidia is still suffering from that drop, but I'm going to explain why. Why is Nvidia taking time to recover? Okay, so obviously, a huge part of Nvidia's growth is due to the AI revolution, because they create the graphics cards that a lot of artificial intelligence computers and developers use for their work, right? So the fact that now, I mean, if you check how much you have to spend to buy some Nvidia graphics cards at the level that you want to use for computing, advanced computing, and then someone is saying, "Oh, DeepSeek is now a serious contender," and so maybe instead of spending 1 billion on Nvidia's chips and the graphics cards, maybe there are new alternatives. Maybe this whole Nvidia thing can be done in a better way. So you see, people are already doing those judgment calls and say, okay, you know what? Yes, a new entrant came into the market, but in the grand scheme of things, I think this Nvidia is not all that value for money. Maybe I should reduce my exposure to this company, and that's why people will start making those decisions. So there's going to be lower reliance on expensive GPUs, because now we can have alternatives, or at least there is some thought that, okay, maybe there's a better way or a cheaper way to do this. All right, so that is what happened with Nvidia. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of reactions and remarks. Now, what's the relevance to you as an investor? Anytime there are disruptive technologies, you need to see how they can affect your current portfolio or your watch list. So maybe there are some companies that you've put on your radar. I may want to buy this particular stock or invest in this business, or I may want to start this business, maybe as an entrepreneur, or even as an employee. If you work in a particular industry and there is a new entrant, that new disruption can threaten your market share. It can threaten your portfolio as an investor, your market share as a business owner, or even your job and your employment as an executive, as a career person. So you need to have that at the back of your mind, and that's why financial literacy is important. Financial education is important. All right. So let's look at AI's role in finance and investment analysis. How can things like DeepSeek help you? Things like DeepSeek, it's like if it's a turbocharged assistant that you can send on errands. So if you were going to take, for example, it takes me a lot of time to analyze a company, and I don't even talk much about stocks and investing. I talk more about crypto, about wealth management generally, but it takes a lot of time to analyze a company, to analyze a business, for those who know what investment really is. Okay, and when you even buy that stock, you still need to manage the portfolio, increase exposure here. You see, investing is a lifestyle. It's not something you do once. It's not something you just pay somebody to do. It's a lifestyle, and that's why if you can't, it may even be better off for you to give your money to a fund manager. Even though I don't recommend that actually, but I'm saying it may be better than you investing without having financial literacy or any investment acumen. because it's not about buying the company. You also need to know when to exit or when to reallocate, when to rebalance. You need to know how much cash should I keep right now, because there may be a shake-up in the market, or just as a rule of thumb, I need to have 30% of my portfolio in cash so that I can scoop up opportunities when they come. So things like AI can help you in making decisions faster. Okay, if it will take you a month to research a company, go through all the qualitative, quantitative analysis, the technical analysis, and all those things to form an investment case, if you can do that in a week, you've saved 75% of the time. So if it will take you 1 month to do one company, then you can now do 4 companies in a month, because AI can help you with your investment research. It can do some sensitivity analysis. It can be a research data analyst for you. It can help you. It can give you options on what to think of, likely scenarios, and just those kind of triggers, thought triggers. Say, okay, what will happen in this scenario, and you can quickly do some financial modeling and know this is what I want to do. So AI should not make the decisions for you, but it should enhance your decision. And there are lots of companies already in the finance world already introducing or integrating AI. I know some companies even in Nigeria that use AI for their portfolio management and financial analysis. But it's just imagine if you had AI manage your portfolio, and when the news came out on Saturday, you have an AI that scans for sentimental data, those sentimental analysis. So when the news came out, the AI could predict that this news is good for the industry, but it will have a negative impact on Nvidia, on Meta. Okay, we didn't check Meta, but Meta is also in the AI game, on Google and all that. So maybe you want to put in some, be ready to sell your portfolio, or maybe be ready to buy the new stock to balance that as a hedge or something. AI could imagine you just received a notification on Saturday morning and say, pop, 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 this news just came out, it may affect your portfolio, these are the options you can consider, and then you can now take time to sit down and evaluate. So AI can help you do those things, can track trends, it can take in a whole lot of data and help you to bring insights, and it's on those insights that you can now make decisions. All right, so we have what we call robo advisors, and we don't have them in Nigeria here, but in other countries we have more like robot advisors, doing exactly what I said now. Can give you like a basket of stocks based on your preferences and say, okay, this is my risk appetite, this is my capital, this is my investment horizon. Okay, these are the stocks you can consider, and then you can now make the decision. All right, so we're having a lot of that coming up, and they will only get better. And I can imagine with new entrants like DeepSeek, these AI platforms and AI-driven platforms will actually do much better. So let me know if you have questions based on what I just said, or if you have, what was your reaction if you were following the market, to this? Are you involved in? Were you affected? Do you have Nvidia stock in your portfolio? What's your general reaction? So I'd like to know in the chat box. So I'm just going to quickly run through the last thing I wanted to touch on here, which is how AI can help business. So I've talked about how AI can help investment and financial analysis, portfolio management, and but let's talk about business. So for the business owners here, for the entrepreneurs, or even executives in working as employees, the first advantage is in cost, and a lot of businesses can attest to this. Maybe your business, your company is already doing this. There are a lot of roles, a lot of duties and tasks that have now been automated, or at least delegated to AI to do. So a lot of, for example, data scraping, a lot of, let's say, routine tasks, maybe cleaning up data, even analysis, insights, trend, some especially maybe writing, proofreading, things like that, copywriting. There is no aspect of business that I cannot that I can think of that AI has not been able to impact. So if you are not using AI in your business, you are actually becoming extinct. The businesses that will die quickly or that will be phased out next are those who refuse to use AI. Those are the ones that will phase out or that will fade away. So if you are a graphic designer, you can use AI to think of concepts. The AI may not draw for you, but now we have AI that can draw. We have Midjourney. Let me show you one that I'm using right now. I may have closed it. So there's this CG Dream. CG Dream, this is for me the best freely accessible AI platform is CG Dream. And so I'm using CG Dream for since I think last year. I discovered it like early last year. All right, and I'll show you some of the images I even did some today. I was in some explorations because I'm an architect, and I'm working on a particular design, and I just wanted something to think out of the box. Not like I want to use AI for the design, but I wanted to think out of the box, right? To see some material combinations that I can begin to explore. So you can see this is me using AI as an architect just for ideas exploration. You can see that. This is for my CEO business. I did this over the weekend or last week. So you can see me using these are explorations. I'm trying to see how we can use AI. This is an image generator, cgdream.ai, free. They have a paid version, but I use the free version. And this is also another project I'm working on where I'm trying to conceive the entrance foyer, like church that we're working on. So I use AI to say, okay, what if I wanted to do this like this? How would it look like? And then I take these ideas and now put them in my main design. So you see, this is how AI is helping me as an architect. It's helping me to think faster. It's helping me. I could arrive at these solutions by myself, but it will take longer. So while AI is not replacing me, AI is not going to replace architects. It is architects that are using AI that will replace the architects that are not using. So AI will not replace developers or software engineers. It is other software engineers that are using AI that will replace the ones that are not. All right, so we need to understand where this sits. So AI can help you do more with less capital. So there's a lot of cost cutting, a lot of efficiency coming into business. And this is why I believe businesses will thrive, because they'll be able to do a lot more with less. All right. And especially now with more entrants like DeepSeek, they can cut costs, even more. Fewer errors, optimized processes, increase productivity and faster decision making. So we're going to see businesses doing more revenue over the next couple of years, 5 years, 10 years. You can quickly analyze consumer behavior, create customized experiences in ways that would have been hard to do before. All right. So I'm going to stop there for today, and I'm going to see if we have any questions from any of the channels that we have. And if you're watching online, drop me a question in the chat. And I hope today's I know we lost a lot of people because of the initial glitch that took about 10 minutes, so I apologize for that. We learn every day. There's no problem making a mistake. The problem is if the problem is repeating mistakes. If you keep repeating the same mistakes, then there's an issue that we need to look at. But yeah, so let me check the other platforms to see if there are any questions. Okay, so I don't see any questions, so we're going to stop there for today. We're going to continue next week. And if you're watching the replay and you still have questions, you can drop them either by email or by in the comment section on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, anywhere you find me. I will collect those questions and I will answer them in the next episode. All right, so I'm going to end by inviting you to go to the wealthcrusade.com to watch my free video training on personal wealth, how to build personal wealth. And the whole idea is to help you with smart frameworks. That's why I'm doing this. The whole Personal Wealth Academy is to give you the frameworks that you can use to collapse time frames, to accelerate capital. I believe that in third world countries, in developing economies, you don't have the laxity, you don't have the convenience to sit back and take a passive approach to finance and investing, to wealth creation, right? Because you cannot make 20% per year in Nigeria, especially somebody that is still in the accumulation phase. You cannot make 20% per year and come out ahead because the inflation is at 33%. So if you are making 20% per month, which is by all standards a great achievement, doing 20% per year on your portfolio, but if you do that in Nigeria, you're actually losing money. So you need a way to accelerate your capital, and you need to do your investing in such a way that, as I said in my video, in last week's video, you don't focus all your attention on investing. You have little capital, but what you just want to do is to make sure that capital is earning you the highest it can. Your money is working for you the hardest that it can. But you also need to focus on accelerating capital. So we are not just one-sided. We're not just investment and finance people. We are business and entrepreneurship people. We are creating value. We are accelerating capital, and then we are taking that capital and putting it into vehicles where it can be multiplied, it can be scaled, and it can have the maximum impact. So go over to thewealthcrusade.com and watch this video. It's about 17 minutes, but I assure you it's going to give you clarity. First, on where you are currently in your wealth journey. At least identify where you are in the grand scheme, and then what's the steps to take you to where you want to be. And once you're done with that, if you want to have a conversation with me, click this button and it'll take you to a private chat where we can take that conversation forward. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's make it a date again next week on the Wealth Crusade Live. Have a great rest of the week, and God bless you.